And even those competitions, they were free to enter.
So for me to stand in front of people can happen naturally, but the speaking. And
Yes.
I used to say that
Yes.
I would rather speak than dancing. And unfortunately, in corporate, I have to speak. So I had to learn. And one of the biggest
Yes.
things that I struggled with, as I mentioned, that everything in my hometown was taught, or rather my primary or in high school, was taught in Chivenda and gets translated to English. So for me, I've been thinking everything in English. And there's a saying that uh, think fast and talk slow. Let's talk about that. You know, somebody that
Yes.
has to think in their home language or a different language, but things have to come out in English. How can
Yes.
one become better in speaking if that is the case?
Yes. So one of the things that we all had to do in school was to think fast because we have allocated time for exams and tests. Right? Think about it like that. There's a time limit. There's no exam that you're going to write the whole day and you're going to enjoy. There's going to be this exam is 45 minutes or it's 2 hours, whichever time is allocated. So when we're in school, thinking fast is very easy, normal. We do it all the time. Then we go to work and it doesn't work like that anymore because the projects that we do are not tests. They are literally just timeline and deadline focused. But I can double check myself. Someone else needs to review. There's all sorts of processes to ensure that what we are doing is correct. But losing that skill usually happens when people don't actively look for places where they can get challenged to think. So playing games like 30 seconds, amazing for the ability to think fast. So do that with your friends often on weekends instead of just let's talk about someone's shoes and why that shoe didn't fit. Right? I'm
No,
just
what I
saying this
love,
because these,
what
yeah,
What I really love about all your examples, they are very practical, things that we are doing on a
yes,
day-to-day basis. It's not something that is not reachable or accessible. So I'm really, really
yes.
happy about this conversation that I'm sure this is coming also from your trainings,
Yeah,
like the
true. It's
tools
for
and
my
resources
training and
that you give to
and
people.
wanting to help people to remember how to think fast, right? Let's play 30
Yes.
seconds again. A
Yeah.
game that I like to play with myself is when someone mentions a word, how many synonyms can I think of the same word?
Mm,
If you say the word business, what other words do I know? Firm, association, institution, organization, right? Do you see that, right? And
mm.
that shows that, okay, there's depth in this, in the knowledge of this. Every time someone says a word you've never heard, don't just say, "Oh, what is tumulus?" and go on. Search it. I do that. It's a must because tomorrow I can use that word. In a meeting, a colleague mentions a word you've never heard before. Instead of nodding politely, Google for your own ability to be able to then add that to your vocabulary. But it's all about creating those opportunities for you to think fast so that it becomes like driving. Driving
Mm-hmm.
initially, you struggle with it a bit and you still have to look at your gears and your handles. At some point, it becomes natural. And that's exactly what it is. You want your brain to be able to think fast. In TV presenting training, that is also where that skill I picked it up again was the ability to be live and it must flow. There's no, oh guys, sorry, please change the station and come back when I'm ready. It must flow, especially when you're interviewing people like what you are doing now. You
Yes.
would be interviewing someone, you cannot predict their response. You don't know what they're going to say. You need to listen well. So, as much as the theory has been developed as think fast and speak slow, what I added to the theory is listen well, think fast, and then speak slow. Because if you're not listening well, what are you going to think about? There's nothing to
Hmm.
think about. But when you're listening well, that's when your brain sends triggers and it goes off in all sorts of directions. It either sees you in that moment, it reminds you of something similar, it creates a certain feeling, but there's something that's happening every time someone else is speaking. And then in that
Yes.
moment, you start to associate and package your message based on what they've said. Oh, right.